What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. As always, I want to thank you for joining me on this beautiful Wednesday early afternoon right here in Siem Reap. Beautiful roads here and sidewalks just got done. Taking a walk by the river. If you want, you can stop and get some of them awesome sandwiches right there. That little cart right there, I highly recommend. If you know what a banh mi sandwich is, it's a very popular sandwich in Vietnam. And this is the Cambodian version. What's that? This is the Cambodian version. And it has meat, it has vegetables, it has two different kinds of sauces. It has some cheese-like substance in there. It's not really cheese, but it tastes like cheese and it's cheese-like. And it's topped off with one of my favorite things, this, what am I trying? Oh, pickled. Like pickled cabbage that they spread all over the top, which adds a nice little zing to the whole thing. They put it in a nice mini baguette, about 6 inches long. And you can get one of those at that place I just showed you back there for only 50 cents. 2,000 real. And that is a treat. I mean, for $1, I can have one now, save one at home for later when I get hungry as a snack. It's perfect. But anyway, as always, I also want to say thank you specifically to all of my awesome supporters. I really appreciate all you guys. You know I love you guys. Your never-ending support, your encouragement, not just financially, but also your emails and your messages. They all mean a lot to me. And of course, you make a lot of people happy here with your donations. And it's always very much appreciated, the way we've all come together, and helping each other out is always amazing. And if you want to be part of that family and join us, well, you get benefits also. Down below are links to my PayPal, Ko-Fi.com, or my Patreon page. And if you send me a donation through any of those methods, what I will do, if it's your first time, I'll send you a copy of my book, Live in Cambodia, a guide for living in the Kingdom of Wonder. And you will also be put on my list. And every week, everybody on that list receives at least one exclusive video, sometimes two. Plus they get all important breaking news first before I put it on my public channel. Things like changing visa information, entry requirements. Whenever the government changes some of those things up, as soon as I hear about it, first thing I do is email all my supporters. Let them know first before I make a video about it here. So if you want to get in on that, check out the links down below. Each and every donation is appreciated, and each and every donation will get you on that list. I love you guys. Let's get on with the video. So, per usual, I get asked a bunch of questions each and every week, and that's fine. I try to answer every email I get, every message on Facebook, and all that good stuff. But I'll take the ones that I get that are most pertinent, or if I get them from more than one or two people, and try to answer them here for everybody. On the subject of the E-type visa, which is a long-term stay visa, nothing has changed on that front. They have not made any, government hasn't made any new announcements. The only way to get one currently is by getting one in advance from your country, from your local Cambodian embassy or consulate. You can't do it online. There are no visas on arrival implemented yet. Although again, that's one thing a lot of people are looking forward to. It'll really cut down on the confusion. It'll cut down on the hassle. And like I said, we're expecting an announcement really soon. A lot of people thought it was going to happen on Monday. It did not. And now here we are on Wednesday. Still haven't heard anything. But hopefully it's coming soon. And that will be one of the things they announce. Fingers crossed. Well, currently, to get the E-type visa, you will need to get it from your home country in advance. The amnesty program to change a tourist visa into an E-visa in country is no longer available. That was a limited time thing the government implemented for those who were kind of stuck here. And that was for anybody who came in before December 31st of last year. And that ended on Monday, I believe. So if you didn't apply for it by then, it's no longer available. So I get that question, like, I want to come over to retire, what do I need to do? And that's the first thing I tell everybody. Talk to the embassy in your country. They might not have all the new information directly from Cambodia, because as I've said many, many times, channels and lines of communication here are sometimes very slow, sometimes even non-existent. And new rules and the implementation of those rules aren't always passed down along the proper lines and channels. And if they are, they do so at a very slow pace. But as far as tourist visas go, yes, you can still get one electronically. You still can't get one upon arrival. There are no visas on arrival. I want to make that clear. But you can get one beforehand. We got the electronic visa site down below that you need to apply for your visa at. If it's something you're interested in, that will be good for 30 days. And you can extend it one time in country for an additional 30 days. But that will be, currently that will be all. Then you will have to leave, come back, and start the whole process over again if you wish to stay longer. But changing it to an E-visa type isn't going to be possible at this time. So that's the one question I always have. And somebody asked, and this was only one person, but I thought it was fair. I want to come over to Cambodia. I want to retire. I'm only 62 years old, but I mean, but what am I going to do there? What am I going to? I mean, am I just going to sit in my apartment all day? Am I just going to wind up like some of these guys, just hanging around at a bar and drinking myself to death? What am I going to do? And that's fair. That's a fair question. In the last couple of years, of course, because of the whole COVID situation, there hasn't been much to do. A lot of businesses were closed. Entertainment venues were closed. No movie theaters. Bars were closed. Nightclubs were closed. Theaters were closed. Museums were closed. So there's been a real dearth of things to do here. But under normal circumstances, like pre-pandemic, and now slowly getting back to the new normal, things are opening up more and more. And there are really a lot of things to do, at least here in Siem Reap, with your free time. You can go see Angkor Wat. I know sometimes people get templed out. There's so many temples to see here, and sometimes no matter how much you like them, you know, just like with anything else, if you overdo it, if you do it to excess, it might not have the same appeal for you anymore. Like, as much as I like pizza, if I had it twice a day, every day for a month, I'd be sick of pizza. That kind of thing. But take a few days, go see Angkor Wat. If you get a yearly pass, those are still available, and that'll give you access any day, any time that you want to go. There are other local temples you can also see. You can go in, wander around, be respectful, and each one will teach you a little bit about the history of Cambodia, perhaps, or maybe the culture of Cambodia. You get a feel for how the religious side of Cambodia does things, I guess you can say. Get a feel for the Buddhist lifestyle, what the monks are like, how they live, some of the works they do, things of that nature. I know, man, back in the 90s, going to the mall was a really big deal. Everybody went to the mall. You just hung out at the mall. And they got one here. Heritage Walk Mall. See right there? This is a really big mall. It's got all the related stores inside, stores and restaurants. But mainly, a lot of times you just go in and see a lot of people sitting down on the benches because it's a lot cooler than outside. Or you see them just wandering around, window shopping. That's always nice. I like to walk a lot. It really breaks up the monotony of a day if I'm sitting at home thinking, can't think of anything I want to watch on TV or watch on the internet, and I'm all done writing for the day. I don't know what to do. Well, do what we're doing now. Get up, go for a walk. You never know what you're going to find when you go for a walk here, so that's always an adventure. I'm not aware of all of the events happening around town, but sometimes we'll walk along and see something happening, and it usually winds up being really cool, and say, oh, let's go check that out. That is amazing. I know a lot of people don't like to walk. Some people are mobily limited from walking, physically limited from being mobile, I should say. But you could always grab a pass app, make a deal. Hey, take me around this part of town for $5. You know, have them drop you off and wait for you. So check something out, find something you like, find a market, find a area that has some things going on. That would be my suggestion. But also keep in mind, there are many things outside of Siem Reap. Like, they're still technically in Siem Reap province, but they're on the outskirts, so it will take like a tuk-tuk or a pass app to get to. Things that if you live in the city center will not be easily accessed through walking. There are several nature and biodiversity institutions here where you can learn about the animals and the flowers and the wildlife of Cambodia. You usually ask for a donation of some kind, but you can come in and actually see and find out about things that are native to Cambodia, things you might not have back in your home country. I find that kind of stuff fascinating. I'm not sure if the Landmine Museum is open, but that's another option. Go and hear the story about how it was started, and learn a little bit about how they manually go every day, these people in different parts of Cambodia, to detect, they sniff out and decommission ordnance left over from the Khmer Rouge days. Cambodia has a landmine problem, always has. They want to be landmine free by 2030, I believe the goal is, which will open up many areas that humans haven't been able to go to in 40, 50 years. And that will be awesome when that happens. But you will also make friends here. Now, while the foreign friends you make here may be fleeting, after all, Cambodia is just a stopping point for a lot of people on their way to somewhere else. So you have what I call fleeting kind of relationships here. Eventually, people will just leave for whatever reason, and you might have been really good friends with them for months and months, or maybe even a year or two, and then they're just gonna up and go to another country, maybe go back home. Yeah, it's a country full of you know, revolving door relationships. But locally, you'll definitely make friends just because you're a foreigner. They actually like hearing and seeing about your culture, things you do back home, how you do things, that kind of stuff. They're very curious people, and they're always interested in learning about you and your home country. And they'll also, that opens the doors for you to find things that maybe a lot of foreigners don't know about. There are a lot of little not secret, but they're very well hidden, not well talked about spots and events and things to do that are very local to the culture and the customs, that don't maybe necessarily invite a lot of foreigners to. But there are places here where you can go fishing. There are places here where you can go shoot guns if you want to. Yes, they have a shooting range. They have places you can go hike, places you can go mountain biking if you're physically able to, places you can go four-wheeling, off-road driving if you're into that. They have water park here, right in Siem Reap. They have a water park, a water slide. They have a miniature golf course. A ton of restaurants, a ton of food to try out, which is, you know, always an adventure. Are you gonna like it? Are you not? It might smell good, but does it taste good? They say it's spicy, but do they really mean it? I think eating new things is always fun, always an adventure. I'm always willing to try something, even if I look at it and say, I wouldn't voluntarily pick that. Somebody always says that. No, you're gonna like it. It's great, it's great, it's great. Okay, I'll try it. A lot of times they're right. Sometimes my first impression was correct and should have left it alone, but you don't know until you try. Whether I like it or not, I never regret the experience of at least saying, yes, I will try that. Alright, that'll do it for this one. And by the way, that's just a partial list. These are things I just came up with off the top of my head while I was walking. This wasn't a thought out video. And as you know, I don't work with a script or anything. I just say what comes off the top of my head. Sometimes that makes me sound goofy, and sometimes I say the wrong thing, and stuff like that, but yeah, that's all right. I never mind being wrong or admitting I was wrong, because being wrong is how you get to right. So remember to check out all my links down below. Like I said, you donate through PayPal, Ko-Fi.com, or Patreon. You'll be on my list. You'll receive all my exclusive videos, first look news as it happens, and a copy of my book if it's your first time donating. Other channels vlogging from Cambodia and Vietnam, those are down below. Check out what's happening in other parts of Cambodia and other regions around this area of the world, with some very good informative channels. Also, all my social media is down below. And links to all my other pages. My Dave Does Cambodia Facebook page, Dave Does Cambodia blog. And I'll soon be adding a new one on there, but that's a surprise, and I'll be telling my supporters about that in just a couple days. So expect an email. Not a video, but an email. Alright. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, or share if you want to. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Stay safe. I hope you have a great week. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one.